Good evening, listeners. Greetings from the Horizon team, your local expert with the Global Reach. We are back this evening on this program to disseminate information that will allow the public, our clients and customers to make informed decisions based on our expertise in the areas of real estate practice. This evening, I'll be answering 4 questions regarding land investment. Question number 1. Can we really say that land is an investment, considering the fact that it does not yield returns? The concept of buying land and investment in land is not perceived very well because most people are not knowledgeable of how the land buying process works. It goes without saying that land investment actually is a wise strategic move that Zambians must make to increase their investment portfolio. Surprisingly, there are a lot of people who overlook land when investing. And you might wonder, is buying land a good investment? From the practitioner point of view and understanding, and having specialized in real estate investment, I would say yes. The next question is, what are some of the benefits of investing in land? There are many benefits, but I'll mention a few that also can ignite your thinking and your mind towards land investment. Some of the benefits of land ownership, first of all, I'll give you one: peace of mind. Some of the benefits of land ownership can change how you perceive land investment. Land can be called, in our language, the golden child of investment. Once you complete the buying process, you can be rest assured that no one can steal it from you or destroy it. Isn't that incredible? You invest in something no one can destroy and no one can steal. I think it's very interesting. A piece of land remains in good condition all the time. The other point is that owning land gives you financial security and peace of mind. And therefore, on our part, we recommend that you buy raw land. Buying land for the future development, such as housing and building. Can you imagine that land does not require maintenance, and you can sell your land at a higher price in the near future? And also depends, land prices can surprise you depending on the planning activities or new developments near your land. Your land value can triple or can increase to an amount that can surprise you and change your life. The other aspect of benefit is land is a tangible asset. Investing in vacant land, piece of land, is significantly less risky than stocks. It cannot disappear or lose its value all of a sudden. Currencies and monetary values have no stability. Sometimes also they're just sensitive to a sensation or new development in another market and affect the other market. But regardless of the world economic situation, the value of land constantly goes up because there's no more land to create, and therefore the higher the population growth, the world population growth makes land scarce in the near future or continuously, and therefore the price continually goes up. The other benefit, there are many benefits. The other benefits, land investment are less competitive because most investors with investment capital prefer developments. They buy developments that are already constructed, or they construct to get benefits, to get profits. Generally, the competition is one of the factors when you are investing. But when we discuss land investment, it is surprisingly very different because there's less competition. This is a real estate niche of low competition. Of recent, you can buy a few acres of land and without putting a lot of strain in your pocket, and you can flip and you can sell in a short period of time with significant profits. So this is an area that Zambians must consider because it's affordable. Land is low. The other benefit, land is low priced. Unlike other real estate assets, land is affordable and requires minimal effort for maintenance. You don't need to pay utility bills, mortgages, roof repairs. It has no roof. You won't repair the roof of the land, and there's nothing to replace. There are no doors on the land, so therefore it's like a free maintenance. Apart from the ground rent, if it's on title, there is no any other bill you pay. Another advantage is that the owner of the land does not even pay insurance and other taxes apart from the ground rent if the land is titled. So these are some of the benefits that associated to land investment. The other issue here, the benefit that there's no risky government regulations. There's no need to hire a lawyer to ensure that you meet government requirements. You don't need a lawyer to maintain your land. What you need is to pay the ground rent. So these are some of the benefits among others that are associated with land development. Some people say that they are unable to invest in land because land is in short supply. This one must be in the context. In which context? Are you talking about urban land? Are you talking about which land are you talking about? Yes, land as a resource is becoming more scarce over time and becoming more expensive within the central business district and the periphery because of the high demand, because of the high rate of urbanization and population growth, and because people migrate towards where there is development, where there is facilities like hospitals and so on. So where they go, they create demand. But to make it in the context, land is available. Zambia is a very vast country, and we have a lot of land for agriculture, about 42 million hectares of land is suitable for agriculture. Together land in Zambia is about 75 million hectares. So we have all that land, but also understand that most of this land is under the customary tenure. However, Zambia has got the two land management systems, the customary tenure and the lease tenure, state land. So land is available depending what you are looking at. But as Horizon Properties, we have secured land projects, and if you have been able to invest in land, if you are able to invest in land, this is the time. So land is a very good investment opportunity, and you can invest with a peace of mind. There's a question here. The question is to highlight on some of the possible ways of utilizing land commercially that are not yet exploited in Zambia. One of the investment land that you can embark on with ease is the planting of trees. Planting of trees, this time around, there are the opportunity apart from the real trees themselves. We have the carbon credits. So, and planting of trees, the only challenge is the nature stages, but thereafter, there's very little maintenance or care for those trees. This is an aspect that Zambians must embrace. The other issue that I would say is the issue of the term land banking. Land banking, I've somehow explained, I've tackled on it in my preamble there, that you can buy land for future use. This is a term given to strategic acquisition of land parcels in advance of expanding urbanization. So if you investment is about information, we have information where the development of the town, of the city, of Lusaka is going. So we have acquired, prepared for you different pieces of land that you can buy into, and then in the near future you will see, you will live to remember us, because we know where the town is going, because we are part of the real estate system and the planning of Lusaka. So we know where the city is going, and we know the future plan of Lusaka. So we strategically acquire land and prepare it for the public, customers and clients to buy into that they get the benefit of the future planning and development. So we continue to guide you in these aspects of land and property. Having explained to you some of the benefits of buying land, it's time for you now to make an informed decision to acquire land, as land is there to invest a secure investment option that you can go in with a peace of mind. So we remain committed in providing expert advice in our areas of expertise and understanding to the public, so that they are able to make informed decisions.
Expectations. We have offices in the following locations: Woodlands Head Office, in Kablonga, on the alley behind the Saka Hotel, Horizon Properties, the RIP Petty Merchants.
You're listening to Property Focus, brought to you by Horizon Properties. Now joining in the studio this evening, I have Barry Adrian, Sales and Listeners Connector. We also have Jerry Katomo, Sales and Project Officer, and we're also joined by Tanda Kahuta, Sales Executive, all from Horizon Properties. It's very good evening to you, and you're welcome to the program.
Good evening, Norman. Thank you so much for having us tonight.
Your reaction there, Adrian, to the doctor's presentation?
Doctor's presentation, I think, answers a number of questions, which was our clients were asking through the email that I mostly give on the show, which is info@thehorizonproperties.com. And the information given on land investment, I think it's information that everyone needs, especially if you're someone who is into investing into real estate, someone planning to start your real estate journey, or someone who may know someone that, of course, has these ambitions of investing in real estate. And for those that would want more information with regards to real estate investment, or those that may have questions here and there with regards to the presentation that is presented on tonight, or those that may want to maybe make an addition to what he presented on, what you can do is please send us an email to info@thehorizonproperties.com. So if you have a question, you have a contribution, or anything that you feel may be of help to someone listening out there that you wish to share with us, or you wish addressed on the show, please send us an email to info@thehorizonproperties.com, and we'll gladly attend to that.
Okay. Now let me throw in a very, very important question, and it's about longevity here. very, very important question. I mean, we also celebrating 20 years as Hot FM, and anyone can see what we've done in the market. Now let's talk about Horizon Properties. You've managed to remain a household name in Zambia's property sector for over 20 years. Maybe the question is, how have you managed? We know the industry is hard, it's a tough industry, but this is 20 years plus. You're still here.
Yeah. So what I would say is that we've been around this for 20 years, and over the years, I think one thing has always come out prominent, even in our discussions here on radio, and even when you come to our office, there's always one thing that you're going to observe, and so many times I think we've come to radio and brought out how much we value a particular aspect of our business, and this is a client. And by talking about a client at Horizon Properties, I simply refer to either sellers of properties or buyers of properties, because we are who we are because of these buyers and these sellers of properties that of course approach us every day and entrusting us either with their hard-earned money or of course their properties, which people other that they treasure so much. And in trying to of course deliver exceptional service, we have our customer delivery statement at Horizon Properties, which continuously guide how we transact and how of course we attend to these clients, because by realizing to say the client is at the center of what we do is not enough. We need to put it out there and of course set a standard of how do we get to deal with you as a client. So in realizing to say the client is our boss, of course we have tailor-made all our services to our clients' needs to the best of our ability and expertise. Tailoring all our services to, of course, the best of our ability and expertise simply speaks to how flexible, say, we are when we are offering a service to you. We understand we live in, of course, a time when properties are spaced in Lusaka. And with the growing of Lusaka, others are looking for farms, others are looking for houses for rent, others are looking for houses to buy, others are looking for properties that you can never imagine. Someone would come and tell you, I'm looking for a property which is, let's say, maybe 150 kilometers away from Lusaka. But there should be a road, or maybe even where there's no road, I don't mind those, maybe I want to put up a ranch there. So these are some of the conversations that we have at our offices, and our duty still remains to provide solutions to these, of course, inquiries that we actually get to receive. How do we do it? You've heard, of course, in the presentation of our CEO, where he actually mentions to say we've gone ahead to secure pieces, strategic pieces of land around, of course, Lusaka, outside Lusaka, let me just say across the country. This is to ensure that all those buyers that would come at Horizon Properties looking for specific properties are catered for. And coming back to where I started from, the tailoring of our services, we're at a point where if you call us and maybe you have houses, you have a house, in Woodlands, we're able to move to your place and attend to you. In certain times, we have people who are busy, who may not manage to walk to our offices because of maybe their schedule and everything. We are able to move to the houses. We're not rigid to the point of saying, no, we can only attend to you 10 hours, from 10 hours to 12 hours. After 12 hours, we can't attend to you. Or certain aspects that would see people saying, no, we can only do site visits on a particular day. I think when you come to Horizon Properties, the culture is when the client comes through, they want to view a particular property, each and every person would be there to, of course, assist, move with the client on site, and, of course, ensure that the client sees what they need to see. In situations whereby maybe a vendor is maybe staying in 10 miles, has a plot that they want to sell, we've moved to go to their places and ensure to say their properties are listed for sale. And another important aspect, despite tailoring our services, of course, is understanding that each customer is valuable and unique in their own way, in their own needs, and therefore handle each customer with respect and understanding. We understand there is a general trend on the market where, of course, depending on the class that a particular person may be coming from, people are treated different. But we have this, of course, culture and tradition at Horizon Properties where each and every person is treated the same. So it doesn't matter if you're buying a plot for 25,000 kwacha, or maybe you're paying for a house for 2 million kwacha. The issue is the person is a client and they should be accorded the respect that they deserve. So this is just partly what we do in our offices. And then going further from here, over the years I think we've earned the trust. And this is something which people keep talking about. We understand to say there is no customer care service, of course, which is perfect, but in our day-to-day activities, or maybe in our day-to-day interactions, we strive to perfect these particular services that we offer to our clients. And of course, in doing so, we've mentioned so many times on the show to say we constantly have these trainings, let's say maybe per quarter. In certain times, let's say maybe when we observe to say a certain month, maybe the number of complaints coming through, we sit down and ask ourselves, guys, where have we gone wrong? What can we do different? So it's the constant checks that we do on ourselves, the constant trainings that we do at Horizon Properties, of course, that help us not to say perfect, but of course treat these clients better each and every day. And I would attest to the fact that, of course, the way we were 5-6 years ago, someone who dealt with us 5-6 years ago will not get the same experience when they come today. Because what we were then is different from what we are now. Because each and every day we endeavor to improve and, of course, deliver on our promises. And over the years, I think we've had clients, especially those in the diaspora, who are mostly prone to these scams and all that, who in most times choose to transact with us. And we have a number of stories, of course, which our clients have told, where certain clients, of course, out of trust, would purchase a plot that they've never been to, or maybe just through their relative, send a relative to view, and because of our policies, the client is asked to send the money direct to Horizon Properties. Maybe 5, 6, 7 years down the line, the client comes to Zambia and they find their plot is intact. This is something which is rare, because in most times we hear stories on Facebook where so many clients, of course, were sending back money to Zambia only to come back and find to say those particular plots or properties that they're building do not exist. So these are issues that each and every day when we sit in our offices, we try by all means that this should never happen at Horizon Properties. And so far, I think we are living up to that standard because of some of the policies that have been put in place and some of the standard that, of course, we have adopted at Horizon Properties.
Just in addition, I think Mr. Adrian has actually said a lot of things. I would like to just add that at Horizon Properties, in line with the question that you asked, we are also continuously seeking feedback from our clients. I think that has been a major issue at Horizon Properties, and we always want to hear from our clients because we believe that we can only improve on the service delivery that we actually give them based on the feedback that they give us. Okay, because we understand that customer service is never perfect. And as we seek for feedback from our clients, it's a huge step for us to actually keep on striving in terms of how we handle our clients. So Nono, if you come to Horizon Properties today, just before you enter our offices at Kablonga, there is a feedback box there. We always encourage our clients to actually just drop a note there. Okay, it can be an appreciation due to the experience that they have had with the client.
Talking to multiple people, we go directly to the source. We'll ask Mr. Mbewe for your number, yes, or rather whatever contact details they are. Then we're going to talk to you directly so that we guide you in the purchasing process. What is the intended purpose for the lot of land that you want? Which areas of preference and whatnot, distance from the tarred road, and possible budgeting and everything, right? All of that is then given to you, and then after that is done, Mr. Zaza, we take Mr. Mbewe Adrian as your agent, or rather your eyes on the ground, to see the property. After he sees the property, he disseminates that information to you that we've already shared with you of the address that we have for the property. Then he also tells you what is on the ground is actually true. We close the deal directly. We do not ask you to send money to Mr. Adrian so that he comes and gives it to us. Complications. I'm sending in 100 pin at no in Localipila Horizon Properties. He comes and makes a 75,000 kwacha payment. We're going to give him the receipts to send to you, or maybe we even send them to you directly. But then, no, it was 100 pin. Why is it 75,000 and all of that? To curtail all of that, Mr. Zaza, Kulima Banks. online transfers and everything. So tikusendingila be our bank details. You make the transfer directly. We receipt you, send you a receipt if you like. Ask Mr. Adrian to come pick the physical receipt from us directly. Like that, everything happens in a stellar and good condition. And already, as stated by Mr. Mbewe himself here, property once bought from us is secure. We even tell you how best to make it even more secure by at least raising the wall fence and whatever other issues of that nature. So as a result, we are answering problems that maybe other people are not seeing, but us being the property business, we're like, no, how do we serve these people better? And as a result, we also factored in the diaspora market and answered that problem.
Well spoken, well said there, Lutanda. Now let's talk about farmland. I know I keep saying we're closer to the rainy season. I'm not too sure if we're close to the rainy season, but it's important to have farmland. What is the current price range for farmland under Horizon Properties, and what kind of buyers are you seeing take interest in these blocks? Is it people? Is it retirees? Is it young people?
I think it's everyone, I would say. Maybe because of the way our farms are priced, in terms of price. And for the sake of time, for tonight, I think I'll stick to 3. So I'll stick to Chisamba, Mungole, and then I'll move to Chiawa. So Chiawa, Chisamba, and Mungole. So let's look at the pricing. I'll start with Chiawa. 5 acres for only 60,000 kwacha. Looking at, of course, the potential that the area has, and then someone getting land for 60,000 kwacha. Aside from the price at 60,000 kwacha, they're also given an installment plan. You can imagine, no? So these are issues where it's okay for me to say it's not like we're targeting maybe, let's say, people with money, but it's everyone. Each and every person who's interested in real estate can actually afford to get a farm from Horizon Properties. So Chiawa 5 acres at 60,000 kwacha with an installment plan. If you're paying cash, check our page right now. You realize to say cash payment gets you a 5% discount on your purchase. So you're not just buying or paying, but we also consider it. Since we results, 5% will give you as a discount. So 5 acres at 60,000 kwacha in Chiawa. And then still in Chiawa, we have 20 acres of land, which we are selling at 160,000 kwacha. So 160,000 kwacha for 20 acres with an installment plan. If you're paying cash, we give you a 5% discount. So we are considering, despite us being flexible, but for those that may have the money to pay at once, we are giving you a discount on your purchase. And then still in Chiawa again, we have 50 acres of land. So 50 acres at 350,000 kwacha with a lot of benefits. You can do a lot of things with this particular land. The area itself has a lot of investment opportunities and just so much that you can do with your land, be it a year from now, but for now, stick to farming.
Perfect place to do land banking.
Yes, perfect place to do land banking, just like Mr. Kahota said. You can buy your land, keep it 2 or 3 years from now, 50 acres, sell it at 1.5. You'll be the one calling the shots. It won't be me to tell you, say, no, but Maduri is around there. I can control you if you're listing the Horizon Properties to say, this is how much land they're selling. Because of course, we don't mislead, we guide correctly. So 50 acres at 350,000 kwacha in Chiawa with a 5% of course discount on a cash purchase. And then down to Mongolia, we have 5 acres road network property done, and 30 kilometers of course from Mumba Road. If you're using 10 miles road, after the palace you have to proceed for most about 40 km or so. The road network is perfect, 5 acres at only 150,000 kwacha. So still in Mungule, the 5 acres that you're getting at 150,000 kwacha, if you're buying cash, we give you a 5% discount. If you're just doing a normal purchase, we give you an installment plan, which is flexible enough for you, of course, to have a breather. We have 5 acres again in Chisamba. So from Landres Corner, you drive 12 kilometers up to Matsombola. From Matsombola, you branch off on the gravel road for 9 kilometers up to the farm. So 100,000 for 5 acres. The payment plan, very flexible, it's there. But if you're paying cash, we'll give you a 5% discount. So all these are available right now. And the reason why I've mentioned the 3 is because of their potential for growth. We've talked about, we mentioned land banking. We've also mentioned those that would want to buy and maybe resell. These are areas which you need to consider right now. And the best is to buy now while there's still land in this particular area.
Mr. Zaza, just to highlight something about land, especially when you're buying farmland also. It's, I did come in and say, you know, land banking. Mr. Zaza, there's another element of land banking that is actually working to the advantage of people that are deciding to practice it now. What do I mean? You see, land, as we say, is a finite resource. It's no longer being produced, and as a result, what is there is all we have. And then also, it is affected by the factors of economics, so to say, supply and demand. So, Mr. Zaza, what's interesting is that the demand keeps growing. You see? Let me get into a few statistics here. In 2010, the population in Zambia was 13 million and 970. You see? So 13.97 million people. What we have, or rather had, in 2024 is 21 million. Over 21 million people. So now this is a very huge growth. Now the supply still remains the same. So if you start practicing land banking now, and in 10 years' time, already we're 21 million. So we'll talk about a multiplicative factor and get into somewhere around maybe being at least close to 40, if not 50 million people. And yet, what does that now say to the value of your land? It grows even further. So this is why we promote and advise people to get farmland now.
All right. Derek, we wouldn't be complete if we didn't talk about the Green Village. I'm going to throw you a two-part question here that will sound like one, but it's one and the same thing. To anyone who's listening, maybe the first question would be the inspiration behind the creation of the Horizon Green Village. And maybe importantly as well, do you cater for first-time buyers? Is it middle-income earners? Are we looking at high-end clients, billionaires, or just, you know, the ordinary German Jim and Jack who just walks into a room and has money and they can afford it?
Okay, thank you so much, Nono. I think the vision behind the Green Village, I think it was birthed due to the research that actually was conducted. Obviously, the challenges that are emerging from different compounds that where we live in, issues to do with orderliness, issues to do with poor planning, issues to do with people not being mindful of what they can do in terms of them fighting the effects of climate change. So when we actually analyzed all these things, we came up with a vision for the Green Village, and most of the issues that you see at the Green Village were actually as a result of the research that was actually conducted. So to answer your question, Nono, one, it was about the pillars. Okay, so the vision is actually embedded in the pillars, the three pillars that that are at the center of the Green Village, which is sustainability. So in terms of sustainability, we're looking at how people can do in their smallest ways in terms of how they can actually contribute to mitigate and fight the effects of climate change. So these are at how they are actually relating with the environment. Okay, are they depleting resources, depriving the next generations? Are they planting more trees? Are people keeping the environment green? Are people also taking advantage of other alternatives in terms of the sources of energy? So all these things sums up the pillar of sustainability. Okay, so if you come to the Green Village, sustainability is one of the pillars behind the vision of the Green Village. Another pillar that I would like to mention is modernity. We're alive to the fact that people want to live within the modern times. Okay, so in terms of the kind of houses they want to build, they want to have spacious rooms, they want to come up with their dream homes actually. So when you look at the Green Village, people are free to design their houses in such a way that would befit their dream homes. Okay, but when you look at the aspect in terms of how strong their structures are, that is our concern. Okay, so people are subjected to actually submit their plans to the local authorities for those plans to be approved, because we understand that in different compounds where we're coming from, people just used to build, okay? No, because I need a shelter, you just put up whatever shelter that you want, okay? Without considering whether that shelter will live there or will be there for a test of time, or are you mindful in terms of the drainage system that is within that area? Is your building in conformity to that? So those are some of the issues that we looked at. So under modernity, in as much as people want to live within the modern world that we're living in, there are those aspects that we're considering, okay? Minus us actually taking away the fact that people would like to build their dream homes. Another facet that I would like to mention, one of the pillars behind the vision, is affordability. I think there we have demonstrated the talk, when you look at the pricing structure of the plots, very much affordable across the board, okay? Across the board, people are buying plots affordably, okay? Knowing to say this is a gated community, but you are getting a plot known as low as 120, okay? A 20 by 22.5, a plot in a gated community that is already fenced, security already on site, services such as water, electricity already on site, but people are getting plots as low as 120, okay? That speaks to our commitment in terms of the affordability aspect as a pillar of the vision that is there. So if you are listening to us, you want to join this thriving community, please come, because these plots are very much affordable. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you're a public servant, you're in the private sector, you're an entrepreneur, or whatever profession that you may be coming from. These plots are very much affordable. So a 20 by 22.5 is going for 120,000 kwacha only. Those that would want 30 by 30 plots, they're there. You can get it actually at 228,000 kwacha. If you want maybe a much bigger space, actually you're allowed to buy more than one and merge them to meet the demand of the land that you want. But in its totality, the point still remains that plots in the Green Village are very much affordable. Another maybe aspect that I would like to mention that inspired the vision behind the Green Village was to create a green, beautiful and orderly community. Like I said, these were issues that we observed from different communities. If I was to take you back, there are different compounds, maybe, which had some streams, maybe, some time back. But those streams are not there now, because people have built, obviously, on where maybe the water was coming from, or they have gotten away maybe some drainage systems that would enable them to have such kind of streams within their compounds. So for us as Horizon Properties, we realized that we needed to come up with an orderly community which would give people an opportunity to live in a more secured and environmentally friendly community, such that you are looking at all these aspects, okay? So we looked at how do we counter the aspect of water contamination, okay? We realized that we needed to have an independent water recirculation system within the site, at the expense of people drilling boreholes, because we understand that even in communities where we're coming from, you realize that direct opposite, maybe this side someone has drilled a bore, the other side someone has done a septic tank. So the chances of contaminating water are very high. But when you come to the Green Village, that was countered, okay? To just give it a beautiful look and to give it, to give people an opportunity for them to live in such an environment where such kind of vices are not there. Another point that I would like to mention, obviously, which inspired the vision, was to come up with a family-oriented and eco-friendly living. Okay? The points that I've already mentioned was just to give an opportunity to different families, for them obviously to live in a community where like-minded people are also there, for them to actually have obviously shared visions, shared principles, and also bringing up their families in a manner that would give an opportunity to their children to live in a well-secured environment where different principles can actually be inculcated into their children, because you are talking about people that are bought in a similar vision. They understand to say, okay, this is the ultimate goal, and if our children are going to be raised in this environment, this is what they need to do. They need to learn that they need to protect the environment, They need to make sure that they maintain the environment. They need to make sure that they coexist with one another because they are sharing the same vision. So that vision was inspired by some of these points that I've mentioned. Obviously, being Horizon Properties, we're into business as well, but we took a center stage in terms of countering some of the issues that we have continued to discover from different locations where we come from. I think another aspect of the question that you asked was whether it caters for specific audiences or specific classes of people. I think based on what I've mentioned, you realize that we have done away with the aspect of us creating classes, okay? Where maybe we can say, okay, this one is on the lower end, this is the lower class, the middle class, or the higher class. But in terms of us attracting people, obviously the Green Village, it is attractive to the upper class. But because of the affordability aspect, it cuts across the board. So first-time buyers, they can buy actually in the Green Village because it gives them an opportunity, one, to have value for their money. Two, it is a secured environment. Their investment is secured. And then dealing with Horizon Properties, obviously they have that guarantee that this is a secured environment and this is a secured investment for us. Another, the class of people that you mentioned about the middle income earners, obviously these are people that are looking for properties where the environment equally can be safe, because obviously they're just making so much for them to invest into property. So this class as well, it is catered for in the Green Village because their investment is secured. On the high-end investors, definitely when you look at the magnitude of the project, it is big. They cannot ignore it. They just need to invest into this project if they are going to have their investment grow. Because we're talking about a community, none of that who have above 2,000 housing units. That is a community on its own. That is more of a town on its own, because you are looking at over 10,000 people living within that gated community. Meaning, obviously, they need to have easy access to commodities, easy access to services, and also just for them to have businesses around. So economic activities there will be massive. So on the high end, those that are looking to invest into property, this is a gated community for them because of the magnitude of the project. So in simple terms, this is a project that cuts across the board.
Thank you, Derek. Adrian, closing remarks, and what should we look out for, or what should people look out for?
There's definitely a lot to look out for, especially like you said, the rainy season is closed. In as much as you buy those clothes from the Green Village, as you of course drive to Chisamba to get that farm, as you move to Chiawa to get that farm as well, or maybe as you drive along, of course, maybe roads in Chalala, Lilai to get that plot and maybe that house. Remember to check out our page, which is on Facebook, Horizon Properties Limited being the main page, and then we also have Horizon Properties Residential page, and then we have Horizon Properties Farmlands page. We also have a page dedicated specifically to the Green Village, which is of course Horizon Green Village project page. And of course, for everything discussed on the show, you can simply, if you have any questions, contributions, or you want to make an inquiry and maybe get fast response. If you can't drive to Kablonga, please send us an email to info@horizonproperties.com. If not, you can find us in Kablonga, of course at shop number 8, right on Chindo Road, the old Kablonga shopping complex, or you can simply go to our head office, which is our construction office, still on Chindo Road, right opposite Woodlands Hill Primary School, or simply go to town on the alley behind Osaka Hotel. What is discussed on the show is not everything that we have. We have quite a number of properties, and the best you can do, of course, is to come to our offices on the addresses that I've given, or simply give me a call on the number 0777 002756. If you can't give me a call, please send us an email with anything real estate related to info@horizonproperties.com and we'll attend to it.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming through.
It's always a pleasure being here.
There you have it. That's it for today's episode of Property Focus. Be sure to catch us next week on Tuesday, just after 18:30, right here on Hot FM. Please stay tuned.
A beautiful development is sprouting in Silverest Extension, and it has set the whole city talking. It's the Horizon Green Village Housing Estate, situated 20 kilometers from the airport roundabout and